Welcome to Booking the Wrestler Impact Edition, Episode 9. Now, when you see this, guys, this Episode 9 will be on Thursday. It will be uploaded Thursday. I'm doing this now Tuesday. I've decided not to upload on Wednesday because of what's going on AEW Dynamite and the tribute to Brody Lee, John Herber, and what happened to him. You already seen my video. I'm not connecting it. This is the wisest thing to do. It would be wrong to upload my Booking the Wrestler on that day. I just can't do it. So it will be uploaded Thursday. Now, before I get started, I know I said thank you already in I think episode 8 or 7. I can't remember. I've been doing these things so much, trying to do these stories, I forgot when I said thank you. My guess is 8 or 7. But I am going to thank you for even looking at these videos. I don't like to make this long-winded. I don't. I hate it. But you guys have been willing to look at them, and it hasn't been easy for me this year. And I don't like bringing myself into these videos, but I thank you. This has not been an easy year. And doing these videos have been exceptionally hard. If anyone knows me, I have anxiety with depression. And this has forced me to kind of deal with it. To try to think outside the box, to not let my anxiety get the better of me, to fight through it. And what's been going on for the year has been hard. But it has been rewarding, and it has inspired me a little bit and made me a little more creative than I normally would with all the stress going on. So, thank you. Now, I've done enough. Let's get into this. And the two people, and there's two, it's a couple, you're not going to like them. But I hope I make this story sound good. I hope I make this booking sound good. And they're my fans. Josh Matthews and Madison Rayne. You guys have always, and I know, you're going, what? You're going to actually put up the two people we don't like who do commentary. Yes, it's been a long time. They need a storyline. They need this booking. I've talked about this for years. So I hope you enjoy this booking. I really do. Now, this story, it's going to start at Hard to Kill, but it really culminates up to Slammiversary, when it really begins. At Hard to Kill, in my story, not in real life, the pandemic finally has ended enough that people can come back into any type of arena, any type of area, because let's say around October they got the vaccine and they have been distributing it and people have been taking it, and the rate for sickness has dropped dramatically. Everyone is much better. Now people can go back into arenas and everywhere they wanted to go. And Hard to Kill 2021 is the first real show for Impact where they got fans back. It's now near capacity. And this is where it gets interesting. In this show, people boo. Because when they open, right before they open the show, when they're getting everything ready for the kickoff, Josh Matthews come out. Madison Rayne comes out. Don Callis comes out. D'Lo Brown comes out. Kind of like a panel like the WWE. D'Lo Brown is cheered. Don Callis is heavily cheered because of what's going on with him and Kenny Omega. But the minute that Josh and Madison come out together, they are booed heavily. Nobody likes the commentary they did. They're not saying anything. They just wave and act nice. But throughout the night, they are booed constantly whenever the cameras are focused on them, because they do it periodically. Don is not working with Josh, and neither is D'Lo Brown working with Josh. It's just Madison and Josh only. And people are booing them behind their backs and when the camera's put on right in their face. Now, when Impact does their tapings, same thing happens again. But this time now people are bringing in posters saying, get rid of the commentary team. We need fresh blood. And they got posters showing these two just trying to do their job. Hating it, but they're trying to do their job. And this goes on for weeks until two people in the crowd. Well, the first one, take that back. The first person is a hooded woman. And she actually grabs at Madison Rayne. Madison doesn't expect it. She's actually shocked. She gets shoved by this woman and it's caught on film, caught on camera. And she's shoving her back. And you got Josh making sure to keep his wife under control because he knows the rules. You don't touch the fans. And he had to grab her to calm her down. But they do film it. The next week, Josh Matthews gets hit in the face by someone in a hood. Well, not a hood, but more with a hat covering his face. And he hits him in the face. And Madison shoved the guy back, and it's Matt Striker. Matt Striker punched Josh Matthews in the face. And he's like, I'm sick of you. I'm sick of how bad you're making commentators look. You're bad for commentators. And the woman who last week shoved at Madison Rayne took off her hood. And it was Angelina Love. Angelina Love showed up to Impact with Josh Matthews. And they don't go in the ring. They just say, you two are the worst. I can't stand you. You're disgusting. And they both walk away. They both walk away. Josh is holding his face. And Madison is clearly pissed off. They legitimately did not see this coming. This wasn't booked. This is like a shoot. And the next week, it's addressed in the ring. As far as in the storyline, they address this in the ring. And Josh is trying to put his wife over. He's not caring about himself. He got a big mark on his face. And he says, I cannot believe they do this. My wife. Look, guys. He says this. Look, guys. It's obvious. We're man and wife. And we know you guys don't like our commentary. But putting your hands on Madison, or me for that matter, is wrong. We're here to do a job. And she stops him. Grabs his mic and says, honey, stop. And this is the first time that Madison Rayne breaks her character. She's not doing it. She literally is not acting like Madison Rayne, the face, or Madison Rayne like a heel. She's not doing it. She's acting like a wife. She says, honey, stop, stop. And she walks up to the camera. And she says, Laura, how dare you bring Matt Striker here and hit my husband? You let this man come and then you stand by his side and you let him hit my husband. This man, no one touches this man. You guys may not like him. And there are people now beginning to stop the boos, are slowing down because they're hearing that she legitimately is angry. You guys, I know you don't like my husband. I know you think he doesn't do commentary well, but this is the greatest man I've ever met in my life. And she legitimately starts getting obviously upset. And she cries on screen. And as far as I know, other than fake crying, she's not doing it this time. She's legitimately angry. This man accepted my daughter when he didn't have to. This man has been by my side all this time and has been willing to take my child from another man as his own. And he walks up to her and says, stop, stop. He said, no. She's legitimately telling him no. She's telling him to back the fuck off. Not out of rage, but to hate him, but out of rage what happened. And she's literally saying, how dare you two come here and do what you did, saying my husband's garbage. Because when it came down to it, both of them were literally focusing their attention on Josh because they can't stand Josh's commentary because he sucks that bad. And she says, he works hard. No one has the right to disrespect my husband that way. No one has the right to disrespect my family. I see you again. I give my word, I'm going to kill one of you. And she's crying. She's enraged. Literally, her makeup runs. That's how angry and upset she is. And he literally had to grab her and hold her in his arms. And she is crying out of rage. This will be the first time for Madison Rayne to actually show such intense emotion. Yeah, she's done some storylines where she gets upset and stuff, but legitimately here, she's literally crying, her makeup runs, and she legitimately is so upset. Josh literally had to escort her to the back, and they continue about 20 minutes after that as the rest of the show goes on and Don takes over with D'Lo Brown. They literally have them together. And the cameraman gets too close, and Josh says, "What the hell are you doing? Get away!" And he's shoving them away. Shoving the cameraman and the mic guy, shoving them away. He doesn't want no one near his wife. And you get Matt Striker and the Angelina Love coming to Impact. And they come next week and said, "Oh, boo-hoo. We see Madison Rayne crying because her man's getting disrespected." I've known him for years. He sucks. He sucked in WWE, and he sucks here. He's better working in the back and keeping his damn mouth shut. And Angelina Love is looking at the camera and says, "You know why I did that. You know why I shoved you. Because you actually wanted to work with your husband, knowing full well how bad he is. He has not helped the Knockouts. He's done nothing for the Knockouts. He hasn't done nothing for the Knockouts when it comes to story, and he's done nothing for the Knockouts to promote them. He sucks. And I'm angry at you. For someone who worked with me for so many years, you should be caring about what he does. And you've done nothing to let him do whatever he does." And literally, Madison Rayne is not in a dress. She's in regular street clothes. No dress, no shoes. She's in pants. She's in sneakers. She's in a regular top. And she literally runs, no music, out and attacks Matt Striker. You think she was going to attack Angelina Love? No, she attacks Matt Striker. She literally goes right at him. He hits the ground, and she's literally pounding him in the face. And you see Angelina Love grabbing her, and she's shoving her back. And she will not stop trying to attack Matt Striker. She refuses. And it's Josh Matthews who runs out with D'Lo Brown because D'Lo grabs Angelina Love, and Josh grabs Madison Rayne. And he's trying to stop his wife, literally grabbing her, holding her, and literally trying to calm her down. And she's crying again out of rage. Rage. Pure unadulterated rage. And then you see them focus on Matt Striker, and he's smiling and laughing. Laughing at Madison Rayne. And you see Josh saying, "What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Who cares if everyone likes me or not? Come on. I've known you for years. You don't need to be like this." And then he says, "Yes, I do." And then some blood runs from his nose. And this is Matt Striker because Madison hit him in the face just right to make his nose bleed a little bit. And he's just laughing. And he gets up and he walks away. And so does Angelina Love. And you see Josh and Madison screaming at Don and Scott saying, "You got to bring these two in. We need a match. We want to go at them." And it's Don, he said, "Kid, you actually think you're going to stand a chance in the ring with Matt? The guy is better than you. The guy was a wrestler. He will whoop your butt." He said, "I don't care. No one has the right to insult my wife. No one has the right to touch my wife." And he was shoving her aside. No one. And it's Madison who says, "Honey, stop. No, you're not going in the ring. He will hurt you, and I won't allow it. Let me have Angelina Love. In an unsanctioned match, let me have her. Let me have her." And Don says, "Okay, you two can have it." He said, "No." And he looks at his wife. He holds her arm and says, "No, I want him for what has been going on because I know he had to plan this." He says, "I don't care if you planned it or not. You're not going in a ring." She looked at him, put her arms around his neck, and pulled him closer and said, "I will not let you go in the ring. I still go in the ring, Please, she's begging. She does not want him hurt because he's agile in the ring. She says it, but he's not a wrestler. This is not joking around like it was 3 years ago when you were working against. It's different. You will really get hurt. I refuse to let that happen to the father of my daughter. Please let me do this. I go in the ring still. I can handle this. And he didn't want it. And he refused. He walked out angry. And it took next week because I see this again. And he is legitimately angry. They're not doing commentary now because of what's going on. It's Don and D'Lo Brown. And then D'Lo Brown gets switched out for the Pope D'Angelo Dinero. This is how it goes. Because they stopped because of the fight. D'Lo Brown and Don Callis does it. And then D'Lo Brown gets switched out for the Pope D'Angelo Dinero. He gets switched out. And as this is going on, they never go back to commentary. They only focus on them in the back. And Josh is just angry. He just doesn't take it well. And it's a couple of people like TJ Perkins goes up to him and say, calm down, man. You should listen to your wife. You don't go in the ring. And he shoves back TJ Perkins, angry, saying, who the hell do you think you are even saying anything? Don't even speak. And Madison catches up with him and apologizes to TJ. He said, please, calm down. Let me have her. I'll do it. So they do have the match 2 weeks later. There is no... The way it goes is that Madison does have an unsanctioned match with the wonderful Angelina. I want to know what she looks like now. I know she had a kid, so I want to know if she's like... Or... Woo! Sorry, guys, I'm just thinking about it. But the unsanctioned match they have gets stopped. It gets stopped because Matt Striker, because he was at ringside along with Josh, started fighting one another. And Madison quit. She ran to her husband. She's angry that Josh got attacked because he gets attacked. Instead of them being separated, Josh gets attacked directly by Matt Striker. And it becomes a big shit show. It gets so bad, they take Josh to the hospital because he gets hit in the face with a kendo stick. That's how good it gets. Josh is off TV for a month because he gets hit really good across the face near his eye. Now, of course, he's fine in the story, but they won't let him be seen for almost a month. So Madison demands Angelina Love every time. And Angelina comes on TV. You see Madison Rayne rush out there, no music, wanting to beat the crap out of Matt Striker. She doesn't care about Angelina Love. She wants Matt every single time. And Matt just wipes her out every single time. So while this is going on, this goes on for 2 months. And here it gets interesting. Josh Matthews, within those 2 months, bulks up in size. He starts exercising and getting really muscular. That first month that he was gone, he started bulking up. The second month when he comes back, and they ordered them to keep separate, and how Josh and Madison are angry, he bulks up more. And he finally gets his hands on Matt Striker, and Matt thought he's nothing but a weakling. But then when he tries to grab at him, because this is a show that's an Impact Plus show, and Matt Striker's there with Angelina Love, and Angelina Love goes after Madison Rayne, and she's wrestling. Madison Rayne on this situation is actually wrestling. And Angelina Love actually goes after her. Matt Striker's there. He goes in the ring. And he's messing with her. With Angelina Love. And you see Josh Matthews runs out. And he goes and attacks Matt Striker. And Matt's surprised. Because Josh rips off his shirt. And you see he got guns. He's got now guns. He actually got into really good shape. He actually started working in the ring. And he is so angry when it was over for that Impact Plus, you see at the very end of the show, they do an interview with Josh and Madison Rayne, and he's screaming at the top of his lungs, I want him. You're no match for me. I have been working for the last 2 months to get back into shape, and I'm going to whoop your ass. Me, you, Slammiversary. So they have their match at Slammiversary, which is about 2 weeks later. And Josh gets his ass whooped by Matt Striker. He does. But here's the thing. Matt Striker, because he whoops Josh Matthews' ass, takes his place on commentary. Josh can't go back to commentary anymore because now Matt Striker has taken over for where the Pope was. And now it's Don and Matt Striker working together. And pretty much Josh Matthews lost his job. So now he's forced, out of frustration, to work with Madison Rayne as her manager. And he tells Madison, let's do something constructive. I want you to become a 7-time Knockouts champion. So now he becomes her manager and they go for a tear. He makes sure that she wins. He's still buffed. And he makes sure that at first she was winning on her own. But when it came to a couple of other kind of moments where she was losing, he tripped a couple of women up. He messed a couple of women over, and Madison kept winning. Now, Don Callis was watching this. He says, how can you be like this? Why don't you let your woman win? I said, well, guess what? You've been putting my woman up against women, not only is she beaten already, but against odds. Because every time she goes up against these same women, they cheat. They whoop her ass because they keep cheating. I'm watching out for my woman. Why don't you book it fair? Because at this time, Matt Striker is interfering. Every single time Madison Rayne's actual match, because he's been in Don Callis' ear saying, you know what? Maybe Madison Rayne should go up against the Hood Rats. Maybe Madison Rayne should go up against Tasha Steele. Or maybe she should go up against Nevaeh. Oh, you should make definitely sure that you have Havoc by ringside. And maybe have Havoc as the ref. And Havoc basically screws over Madison Rayne. You got Josh Matthews getting screwed inadvertently by Matt Striker because he is in Don Callis' ear every single time. Who is the heel at this moment working with Kenny Omega. So he's going to do it. So Josh Matthews reaches a point where he's doing everything he can to let his woman win. And finally she wins the Knockouts title. But here's the thing. The owner of Impact has been watching and has been getting frustrated how Don's been doing his job. And he now fires Don from his position where now Don goes exclusively as a manager for Kenny Omega. In story, of course. But Josh Matthews is saying to the boss, who is now there, the owner of Impact, this is unfair. How things have been going. Have you seen how Don has booked this place? Look how TJ Perkins has been screwed over. He's been wrestling against XXXL. He should have a fair shot at the X Division title. And Josh started giving really good booking suggestions to the boss. And he's been liking it over and over again. To the point that he starts booking like Josh has suggested. And it reaches a point that the boss, who found out he had stuff to do, says, and he calls out the entire Impact roster. He says, to everyone here, you guys know me. I am the owner of Impact. And it has been a good run running this place. But I have other things I must do now. I have to leave. Because I do have a large corporation to run. And Access TV. It's time for me to go. But I'm not leaving Impact the way it is. I have to leave this place with a general manager. And it's time that I pick the right general manager. And there's only one person I can see. You see where it's going? There's only one person I can see that can run this place effectively. Who understands the talent. Who listens to the talent. And cares about the talent. And it is Josh Matthews. Josh Matthews walks past the crowds, gets into the ring, shakes the boss's hand, and he says, as of this moment, a new era has come. I am now your general manager, and I am going to run this place properly. Nothing is going to stop me from making this place the best it could be. Get ready. This is going to be a bumpy ride. And before we go, Josh Matthews doesn't fire a Matt Striker. He makes him dress up in the turkey suit and have 5 matches back to back to basically humiliate him. And he also basically turns heel after that and basically screws over the show and pisses everybody off because now that he's but now that he is the general manager, he pretty much fucks everyone over, makes sure Madison Rayne keeps her Knockouts title. And he pretty much makes the X Division title mean something because he has it now. Not because he won a match, it's because he basically disqualifies TJ Perkins, who now has won the title, saying that he basically failed a drug test and he now takes the title, but he doesn't put it up for tournament. He says, I'm going to hold on to the title until it's time to do a tournament, when they get around to it. And he basically holds the title. And this, I don't know if this sounds good. This sounds terrible, but this is just me. I don't know if you're going to like this. I hope you do. This is, I know I can go further than that and let him have the World Heavyweight Championship, but no. This is Josh Matthews. I'm not letting him have a world title. It's not going to happen. Not unless I do an extension and he goes through option. Actually, here, he has an extension since he's holding the title. The heavyweight champion, who is at this time Jon Moxley from AEW, he wants Josh Matthews gone as general manager. He says, I want you gone. He says, well, if you want me gone, put the world title up. I'll do option C on this. And at Bound for Glory, he has the entire roster beat up on Jon Moxley, pins in and gets the world heavyweight title. There you go. I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it because this is Josh Matthews. He's a dick. He's a dick. It's in my face. I believe I got a shot of him. That's it. I don't know if you're going to enjoy this. It's just mainly fun. I know this booking wasn't the greatest. I'm sure it sucks. I really tried. This was the hardest one to book because there's nothing to go by when it comes to Josh Matthews and Madison Rayne. You got one that sometimes goes in the ring and the other one that's commentary and does nothing. So it's very difficult to book. And particularly, there's very few people they can work with in the company. And I know there's a lot of people, but how do you line up a storyline that makes it mean something? But I hope you enjoy this. And I hope you enjoy this entire series. I'll leave a connection to every video that I produce from this. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.